This episode of Nintendo Expansion Pass is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support our family of podcasts, head over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia or search for us on the Patreon app on your smart device. Thanks for helping us build something better. Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Expansion Pass here on Boss Rush Games. I'm your host, the Latte Excited Eddie V. Joining me is the one, the only Bossman himself, Mr. Corey Derrick. Hello, good sir.
Hello, it is still Monday. It's still Monday. I hope everybody enjoyed our really late predictions last episode of all the things that were... I don't know. We talked about a lot of things that hadn't happened yet, and then they probably already happened. So, hope everybody enjoyed that. It's fine. It's all good.
Yes.
I could probably swap episodes, but I don't want to. You're getting what you're getting. It's fine.
Yes. So, everybody, this one is probably going to be like a free form kind of episode.
Yeah, here's talking about all kinds of things,
Yes.
All kinds of things.
There was a report that Tears of the Kingdom is still at the top. Apparently Street Fighter 6 did not beat it. Definitely in the UK. So it's kind of amazing that this game could hit 20 million, 15 million. Who knows how long the sales are going to be for that. We haven't got any reporting sales on Diablo 4 just yet. But it's kind of good to see that Nintendo is still leading the charge in a lot of places. I know in the UK, FIFA 23 is still selling on Switch, and I'm confused about that. The game is like not
15
good.
or $20. It's good. It's just the same game it's been for the last 5 years. It's a great game. It's a great game to take portably, right? But I mean, it's not worth. If you buy FIFA on Switch, I would say wait for a sale, especially because like Game Pass and PS Plus have the current version of FIFA on it. If you are an EA, what is it? EA Play member.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, having portable FIFA, I think a lot of people enjoy. It's the same reason why I think I get NBA 2K every other year is because I enjoy having portable basketball, right? It's not any different from the year before. It's just roster updates. And I mean, 2K does a better job of keeping the game up to date with the other current versions. But my point is like, it's, it's one of those games,
Yeah.
People like soccer.
So this is the UK chart that just came out, and they do 40 games. So from 1 to 10 in this order for this week, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is number 1. Street Fighter 6 is 2. 3 is FIFA 23. 4 is Hogwarts Legacy. 5 is Mario Kart 8. 6 is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. 7 is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. 8 is Animal Crossing New Horizons. 9 is Grand Theft Auto 5. And 10 is Nintendo Sports. Now, out of this list, Hogwarts Legacy is still surprising to me.
Well, it just came out on the other consoles, right? So it makes sense that it would get a boost, I think. I hear it runs pretty well on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. But yeah, I mean, dude, that game is a monster. That game is a monster seller. Also, a very great game from a studio who got a lot of ridicule for working on it, and a studio that, like, no offense to them, but I mean, their last two games were Cars 3 and Disney Infinity, which, like, didn't really blow the doors off of anybody. Uh, I mean, Cars is a fun racer, right? And Disney Infinity was a very ambitious project, but, like, it's not like they were, like, incredible feats of performance or you know game making. Uh, I do have all the Infinity figures though, so thank you, Avalanche, for making those. Although I still want the X-Men ones that weren't released and some of the Star Wars ones, and anyways, I wish they still would have released the figures even though the game was canceled. I really,
Mhm.
because there's figures out there. There's over like 40 figures in development when that game got canceled.
Yeah.
Well, like the X-Men based off the 90s cartoon. Uh, there was the other Marvel ones, like Doctor Strange was in development. The Star, like Rogue One, I think was the movie coming out at the time, or was out, and there's a whole Rogue One's cast of characters. Peter Pan was distributed to retailers. Some retailers had them in their warehouse, and they're out in the wild. Never was released. Thought about buying one on eBay. They're like $300, but I don't. That's like a whole thing that I don't really. I don't know. Uh, but I mean, obviously, and then obviously, like the rest of the sensational six, like Daisy and Pluto and Goofy were in development. Winnie the Pooh characters were in there's all these characters that were in development for that game and just never
Hmm.
saw the light of day, which is really sad because I love the design of the characters. I love how they all kind of look alike and are all distinct in their own way, and they got better as the games went on. You know, it's just
Yes.
really sad. I really love the Infinity figures, and then they came out with like toys that had the
Excuse me.
Infinity, like the Infinity look, right? Like I think they were called Disney Toy Box, and they were like posable figures, and I was like, man, these aren't the same. These aren't the same.
Right.
And now they're trying it, the thing with the mobile game, Mirrorverse. They have all kinds of toys for that too, and I have one of them. I have the Sorcerer Mickey one, and like they're really cool. Like the character designs are really cool, but I can't do another Disney collection, man. I can't. So if they brought Mirrorverse to consoles, maybe I would try. But it's a mobile game, so pass. Disney Dreamlight Valley, though, that's a gem. That's a gem.
Yeah.
By the way,
Uh,
man, I have to say something.
go ahead.
So this week is jam packed. For a little insight, I know nobody really cares, but like this is Ed and my third show this week or today, I guess, because we are trying to get the Patreon content, and some of that is changing. It might have already changed by the time this episode comes out. I'm not 100% sure on episode placement and stuff yet, but like we're just so busy all the time, and like I'm recording 3 episodes today, 2 tomorrow, 2 Wednesday, 2 Thursday, and then the showcase stuff on Saturday or Sunday. I mean, the Xbox showcase stuff, I'm recording stuff for that. And I just want to like I want a night where I could just sit down and like, yeah, I'll play a little bit of Zelda here, I'll play some Dreamlight Valley over here, I'll play some Destiny over here. And it's like the 3 games I want to play the most are all require all your time. It's like I don't have any time to give to all 3 of these games. And like, the book club game is Zelda, so I have to play that. Not that I'm not enjoying myself playing Zelda. I love Zelda.
All right.
Uh but then I have a Destiny podcast that I have to keep up with, and like trying to keep up with that. And I didn't play any of the I didn't play any Iron Banner this week. I didn't do the story quest this week yet. Uh and then Disney Dreamlight Valley, I need to redesign my entire island to fit the new quest stuff in. I still need to find Olaf's arms, which are missing. It's like this whole thing, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just want to like, as much as I love what we're doing, I'm just like, I want like a week to just start when my kids go to bed, sit down and play games for 2 or 3 hours before I go to bed, and then go to
Mm-hmm.
bed. And I'm like, that's what normal people do, you know. It's like, oh my gosh,
Shoot, dude,
oh,
I
it's fine.
watching the Xbox showcase, watching the wholesome direct. I gotta find out when the Tribeca game show. Um, I gotta rewatch the Summer Game Fest because I'm gonna be at work when it's gonna be on.
Mhm.
Um, trying to catch Devolver Digital. Um, try to see what the heck the Capcom one is like.
Yeah,
Do and then not only discuss right watching it like writing this stuff up doing recaps and everything like it's the Xbox one is going to be huge, a huge recap one for me.
yeah. I mean, we'll probably do. I mean, Nintendo Power Block that week will probably be most of what we saw at all these conferences, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so it'll probably have already been out, so you can go listen to that. But like, we'll talk. I There's so many conferences, and so I mean, Summer Game Fest starts on Thursday, right? I mean, that first
Yeah.
round of things is Thursday. Obviously, Xbox is Sunday. Capcom's Monday. Like, and I want to deep dive into all this with you, right? Like, we're gonna do that and kind of talk about a lot of things that may or may not pertain to Nintendo, depending on what they do. I still am of the mind that I think Nintendo needs to do something, but what is it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. So it is what it is. But uh, I it's an exciting time of year, whether E3 happens or not. I still think it's an exciting time for games, and to see what's coming, to see what's coming soon. I mean, obviously the Mortal Kombat stuff is being shown off soon. Uh, you know, it's just there's so much, man. And then obviously you have I'm excited for the Destiny showcase in August, uh, which will be exciting for the final shape. By the way, I now own all the Destiny collector's editions. Thank you very much.
Yay.
So I finally got the Taken King one. I never had the Taken King
Nice.
one because it's an ongoing game, and it's like, well, I bought the first one, but like, who needs it? Who needs that? So
All right.
but there's a lore book in there, and there's some cool stuff in there. Anyways, like, there's that to look forward to. There's Gamescom, there's Tokyo Game Show, there's the Game Awards. Man, it's just like the rest of the year is so
Tokyo
packed
Game
full of
Show is going.
conferences.
I gotta find out what time they even do anything for Tokyo Game Show because normally is our time is like 2 a.m. in the morning, and so I'll
Mhm.
be up trying to watch it and everything. Uh, so I gotta figure that out. When is the Destiny one? You said it's in August.
Yeah, it's August 22nd.
Okay, I gotta see what day, what time that one is because I know you're gonna be watching it for Tower Casual, but I want to see like since K6 is coming back.
Yep.
Uh, I want to see how he's going to be incorporated in the game. And like, once again, I love their trailers. I love Bungie's trailers for Dungeons. I mean, for Destiny. So I want to see
That
what they're
that
going to
trailer
be
was
doing.
incredible.
It really was and
Yeah.
everything. So I kind of wanted a picture of them. Like I think it's a shot there. They're at that. Is it a campfire or whatever they're sitting at or something? And then like
Yeah,
the
I mean,
sun is out.
well, the theory is that you're inside the Traveler.
Hmm.
Um and we don't know what capacity Cade is coming back because um nobody knows what happens to a Guardian when they die, because we've already died
Yes.
before and come back as Guardians. And a lot of people
Hmm.
think that, like, well, the common theory is that now that we've seen Cade, is that you come back uh as manifestation of the light, kind of like, because the whole last couple seasons and one of the dungeons is revolving around nightmares, and that's a manifestation of the darkness. And everything's red and black and dark, and uh, that kind of thing. And when a guardian, we've never seen a guardian die before, but that the whole theory now is that, like, now that Cade's back, is he a manifestation of the light and, like, hope? And he doesn't have his ghost, Sundance is gone. Obviously, Sundance was destroyed, killed, whatever you want to say, in
Mm,
Forsaken, which is why Cade died in the first place, because Guardian without his ghost doesn't have the power to resurrect. Uh, his gun is totally broken, but there's some blue light coming out of it, which some people are saying, well, that's just Ace of Spades has the blue light glow around it, but also the gun is fractured, which uh, you know might point to that as well. So I don't know. There's a lot of theories behind that, but uh, the final shape, I think we're going inside the Traveler. We're going to explore the world of light inside the Traveler and see kind of what's going on in there. Because if you've played Lightfall, you know that big triangle that you see in the air
hmm
uh, at the end of that trailer is actually an emblazoned uh, mark on the Traveler that you see outside of it. So somehow we're going to make our way in there and kind of, you know,
I wonder, is there a breakdown of life and death in Destiny? On
yeah.
how it is.
Well, yeah. I mean, the short version is when a human dies, the a ghost from the Traveler will come find and resurrect a human that they deem worthy of the light. And
hmm
but nobody knows what happens when a guardian dies. They only know what happens when a human dies and is resurrected by a ghost. When you become a guardian, you don't remember your past life. You don't remember what you did or didn't do, which they explored that whole kind of arc with Crow when he came back to life, because Crow was previously Aldrin Sov, which was the character that murdered Cade in Forsaken. And then
mm
Aldrin died and then came back as Crow, and he didn't remember any of it. And there's a whole story arc revolving around him finding out who he really was and what he really did and why everybody kind of hates him, because he's really one of the only Guardians that we knew in a previous life and then come back as a Guardian. Because usually it could take like decades, centuries, even thousands of years before a ghost finds their Guardian, right? Well, this happened in the course of like 2 years, where Aldrin died and came back as a Guardian. And so, he that we kind of explored that at this point. So we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. And we also want to know what happens. Well, what if Cade meets Crow? Is Cade going to remember that Crow is Aldrin and Aldrin killed him? Like, yeah, probably. So, you know.
Hmm. All in August. We'll
Sorry, not to
find
get
out.
too nerdy with the lore, but if you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.
Yeah, but I think yeah. Well, Corey, from 11 to 20, back to the chart, real quick. Nintendo Switch Sports, I guess it got 10. Number 11 was God of War Ragnarok. 12 was Minecraft. 13 was Pokemon Violet. 14 was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. 15 is WWE 2K23. 16 is New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. 17 was Lego 2K Drive. That's only been out for a week. So for that to hit 17, interesting. 18 is Super
I'm
Mario
shocked that's
Odyssey.
I'm shocked
Oh,
that's
go ahead.
so low. I'm shocked that's so low. I mean, it has Lego in the title. I feel like Lego games don't sell as well as maybe we think they should or something, cuz like I feel like Lego games have just been kind of down. Even that Star Wars one, right? Like I feel like that,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Seems kind of odd, I guess.
Yeah.
If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.
19 is Dead Island 2, and 20 is Lego Star Wars: the Skywalker Saga. So just like you said, from 21 to 30. Give me 1 second. 21 is Mario Party Superstars. 22 is Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. 23 is Pokemon Scarlet. 24 is Gran Turismo 7. 25 is Farming Simulator 23 Nintendo Switch Edition. 26 is Metroid Prime Remastered. 27 is 30 in One Game Collection Volume 1. 28 is Minecraft Legends. They don't tell which system though. 29 is Resident Evil 4. And 30 is Lego Harry Potter Collection. I'm assuming Resident Evil 4 is the remake. For that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they just didn't put Resident Evil 4 remake. So
well, it's not
just
called
wanted to make
Resident
that
Evil 4
clear.
remake. It's called Resident Evil 4.
Just Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. So
just want to make that clear for people.
I wonder how many people bought the wrong version of that game.
I mean, I own the digital version of the original regular one on Xbox and PlayStation. So, and I think I probably own it on Switch too. But yeah. So from 31 to 40, Advance Wars 1 plus 2 Reboot Camp. 32 was Company of Heroes 3 Console Edition. 33, Pokemon Legends Arceus. 34, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. 35, Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. 36, Saints Row. 37, Crash Bandicoot SA Trilogy. 38, Sonic Frontiers. 39, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. And 40, Evercade Team 17 Amiga Collection, number 1. I can see Spider-Man being on there because of the movie. But man, yeah, most of these, out of these 40 games, a lot of it's Nintendo. And they're games that's been out for a while. I think Breath of the Wild, reason that it hit 7, which is a big jump, is because of Tears of the Kingdom. But it's been like number 7 for a while and everything.
I wonder how many people bought Breath of the Wild thinking they were going to play it before Tears of the Kingdom. Because, like, in my opinion, that's like a after playing so much Tears of the Kingdom, I wonder if that it was even like a good idea for people to do. Because like the games are so like they're similar in one way in terms of the world and and you know that kind of thing, but like man, just the new things in Tears of the Kingdom and the new abilities and everything, like and the new kind of control scheme, it's like man, if you were planning on playing that, you should have played it like a year ago.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, when it comes to Tears of the Kingdom, or I mean Breath of the Wild, I think a lot of people mostly that I've seen, they've been just trying to finish the game that they have for years. I'm guilty. I had it for 4 years, and I beat it a while back. But I have finished all the temples for Tears of the Kingdom. So now it's just doing some side quests and then finishing the game. And I know Stephanie is kind of like could go and fight Ganon, but she might do some extra stuff too.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? It's like you want to. I feel like, I mean, not that Breath of the Wild stopped me, but like in most games, like Horizon, I think is the one that I kind of point to. Is like that's my one and only platinum is Horizon Zero Dawn, and like I had the last mission unlocked for like I don't know, probably half the time that I played it, but I'm like, if I go do the last boss, I'm not going to turn this game back on, right? As much as I love that game, I'm not going to go finish this stuff. I'm done, you know. So I tried to do as much as I could, and ended up getting the platinum in it afterwards, but like, I still didn't go back and finish that DLC yet for the Frozen Wilds or whatever. And I've tried so
Yeah.
many times to go back to that, and I actually turned it on before I started playing the new one, Forbidden West. And I went back and I tried to play it. I got like halfway through the DLC. I'm like, I really just want to play the new one. And then I started playing the new one. I'm like, I really don't want to play my PlayStation at all because like I just don't. And I will get to Forbidden West eventually. I just I don't know, man. I'm very like I feel like I've had this like anti PlayStation thing put on me the last few months, in terms of like
Hmm.
me kind of rah-rahing Xbox, and I'm trying to rah-rah Xbox because I really love my Xbox, and like for some reason I feel like I have to own that that hat that people have given me now, and it's like, but like I mean, Horizon is really like that and Uncharted are like the only two IP that I really like care about on PlayStation at this point. Like I want to care about God of War, but dude, this new one is I'm so bored with it. And I tried to turn it on the other day and start playing through it a little bit. And I'm at the part where did you finish it? Did you play it? Did you finish it?
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah.
I'm at the part where you're like in the ice realm and like you're chasing the giant wolf. I forget. I don't know how long. I'm like
Yeah.
17 hours in, I think. And I tried to play it the other day and I was just like, I'm so bored. I am so bored that I just turned it off. Like I've tried, man, and I'm going to finish God of War because I really love the franchise as a whole, right? I'm even an Ascension defender. I really love God of War 2 and 3 are like really top 25 games of all time for me. I love those games so much. And I'm even an Ascension defender. I think the prequel is cool. Um, but these new ones, man, they just don't do it for me. Uh, you
So
know,
I think the last one just it felt I don't know, it just felt like a creative writing game. It really just felt like nothing really connects and they were just throwing stuff just to make the game progress. Cause I'm just like there's
I'm
parts
just
of it that just doesn't lead up to what the end situation is. And like it's a great game, but I'm like, it really felt like a creative writing piece,
I
story
just like
wise.
I'm tired of them giving all of the PlayStation characters kids. Like it's The Last of Us, it's Uncharted, it's God of War. I'm sure Horizon you have a partner for a while. Like it's Spider-Man now, right? With like you have Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Stop giving me a kid partner. I don't want it. I think Atreus is the worst addition to those games. And I understand like the story they're telling, he's very important to it. Like his character is very important to the Norse story they're
The
telling.
story.
But that kid is the worst. I can't stand
and,
him.
and and one, he was annoying. They really rectified him in two. Like
No, they didn't.
he's better in Ragnarok, in my opinion. Because like he feels fun to play. I think like the way like his bow use and everything, it was really fun to play. I'm sorry, Horizon Zero Dawn. Uh but I think the bow action in God of War Ragnarok is better than Horizon's bow action.
Oh,
And I'm not
I don't know
saying
what you're
it's
smoking.
there. It's just a feeling. It's more. I think something feels tighter and feels better in Ragnarok than it is in Horizon. I'm not saying that Horizon is bad or anything, but just something about the bow action in Horizon. Uh, I was just like, I feel the difference. It's just
Mhm.
like and shoot, Horizon Forbidden West is a game that I even need to get back to and just beat because it's. I'm not going to complain about Sony, but it's really just it's the same beat of I gotta do this by myself. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to hear all of this. This plot is not picking up. And I'm just like, it's gonna be another game that just feel like it's a drag to get to the ending of this game. There's no excitement. There's no twist or anything. I mean, I won't say twist. There's just no excitement. It just feels like I've done this before. I've seen this, and you just really making this game too long for unnecessary reasons.
Mhm.
And I'm not. And some people might love that, but I'm like, I think the reason why I crown Xenoblade Chronicles story is because different unexpected stuff was happening in that game. You did not, it wasn't like, oh, this is all animated. It was none of that. The story really grabbed you. It really had you invested. Um, in it. And so the cutscenes, the voice acting, all of that was done so well, and it never felt boring. Monolith Soft really kept you on your toes. And even if you go back and look at some of the tweets and some of the reactions for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, if there was no video or anything of the game, and you were just seeing people reacting to the story beats, you would be like, oh wow, something really important or crazy happened. I didn't feel that with God of War or with yeah, I don't feel it didn't feel like with God of War Ragnarok. Like nothing just stood out. It just felt like not fetch quest, but just like this is creative writing. Like it felt direction in this. So, but I'm not gonna. I'm sorry, everybody. I know I said I was gonna complain, but um, sometimes I just expect better from Sony.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't
um,
yeah. I mean, it's not that I don't like PlayStation. I've just never been a PlayStation person. Like
mhm,
I've just I've never been the PlayStation person. And I feel like growing up as a Sega kid, I feel like growing up as a Sega kid, really loving the Genesis, a little bit of the Saturn, but not really, right? I mean, that's where I got an N64 instead of a Saturn, which was probably the right choice.
mhm,
And then really loving my Dreamcast, right? Like growing up as that, and even having a Game Gear right before I got my Game Boy Color, right? Like I feel like the natural progression of people who grew up with Nintendo and Super Nintendo made that divide at Nintendo 64 and PlayStation, right? You either became a PlayStation person or you continued with Nintendo 64, right? And then the Sega kids made that, after Dreamcast either went GameCube or Xbox, right? I feel like you made that jump, and I I went GameCube, and I got an original Xbox because all my friends were playing Halo, and I started playing Halo and I really loved it, so I got my own. And then I ended up playing great games like Fable, uh,
mhm.
Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, all-time classics, Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, which is an all-time classic. If you haven't played that yet, if there's an HD version on Switch and other consoles, you should definitely play. That game is
Yeah, agree.
amazing. Super
I
underrated.
agree.
Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, you should play. Uh, Jade
I
Empire
still
was awesome.
I still have my Xbox version, my copy.
Yeah. Yeah, so do I. Jade Empire was awesome. Star Wars Republic Commando was awesome. There's just a lot of great games on the original Xbox. And I love my GameCube. I still think GameCube was probably my primary console of that generation, but the Xbox
Mhm.
was my second console. And then when the GameCube moved on to the Wii, I think everybody who's been listening to us for a while knows how I feel about the Wii, except for a few exceptions. Uh, like the 360 became my go-to console. That, and because uh my my friends in college were playing Gears of War, and I was like, what is that? I need that, and this was at a time where I wasn't. I think when everybody hits that age of end of high school, early age of you should be in college, like 18, 19, 20. Especially me, because I was playing sports in college, where like games were just like they weren't my primary focus. I still played a lot of games. I still played games with my friends, but like I wasn't truly paying attention until I left playing sports in college, right? And so Gears of War was like incredible looking. I forgot how great, that jump from, we don't really see it that much from like a, a visual perspective from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
look, yes, Horizon Forbidden West looks better than Horizon Zero Dawn, right?
Correct.
But
100% are correct.
they still look the same, right? In a lot of respects, right? It's not like jumping from PS1 to PS2 or even making the jump from PS2 to PS3 in terms of graphical fidelity, right? Like we're
Mm,
hitting that era of diminishing returns in terms of visual fidelity. It's all the stuff you can do now, like ray tracing and particle effects and how enemy AI and things you do under the hood that makes these consoles better. Load times with the SSDs and stuff like that. So like Xbox 360 was the console of choice for me. And then obviously the Xbox One, I really loved Xbox One, but I played Destiny, and this was before Destiny had crossplay, obviously.
yeah.
And all my friends got PlayStation 4s to play Destiny because it had a lot of exclusive stuff. It had exclusive weapons, it had exclusive missions, exclusive strikes. And so, yeah, I played a lot of Destiny on PlayStation 4, but I still played almost everything else on Xbox One at that point because I ended up getting
I
one later.
I definitely, for me, I know when it came to the N64, I had N64 for Christmas, PlayStation 1 for birthday. And I didn't have Saturn, but I bought my own Dreamcast, bought my own GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox I brought. Um, when it got to the PS3 360 era, I did buy my own Wii. But I went with PS3 due to all the problems that was going on with Xbox. And then when Xbox One came out, I went back to the Gears stuff. And I'm like, okay, now I get it because of the better controller. I talked about this before. And then I did PS4. Like I said, the reason I definitely got an Xbox One because Ori and Blind Forest, and then I seen Rise of the Tomb Raider was exclusive to Xbox One. I'm like, oh, I had to have this and everything. And like PlayStation 4, I was just able to get because over time that I worked in, we had them on sale and everything. Like I got the Star Wars Battlefield game with mine. Never played it. All I cared was for the system, but it was on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know,
Yeah. And I mean, I got a place. I didn't even get a PlayStation 3 until I want to say, I mean, I got
I got mine at the Slim.
yeah, I had a Slim. Uh, I had a Slim and I got the Uncharted trilogy. I got it for God of War 3 is what I got it for.
Mm-hmm.
And I got God of War 3 and Uncharted 2, I want to say, were the games that I got. And I got Uncharted 2, and God of War 3 were the games that I got for uh, PlayStation 3. And then I think I also got Killzone 2 because I heard everybody, the PlayStation fans liked it. I'm like, have you ever played
Yeah,
Halo? This is not. This is not.
I so I know Darksiders was one of them. Infamous, um, Vanquish, and I think Uncharted was the one. There was like four games that I started with, and then because I still had extra money and I went to GameStop to go see the used stuff,
Mhm.
I know my library jumped from four games to 11 or 12 and stuff. Because a lot of those games were like cheap and stuff. Um, and some of them were just like, oh, and everything. Like some were like $7, $5. Just like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll go pick this up.
Yeah, and honestly, the reason so I started playing a lot of PS3, and then I started playing. So I actually stopped playing my PlayStation 3. So I played through Uncharted, and then I was playing through Final Fantasy 13 on it, and my system
Mm-hmm.
locked up and bricked. And I sent it in, and I got it back, and it like they wiped all my saves, like everything was gone. And so I was like, I don't. This is not the experience I want to have, and so I've missed a lot of PlayStation 3. I missed a lot of PlayStation 4 also, if I'm going to be honest. Like I said, I like God of War, I like Uncharted, I like Horizon, and those are like the franchises. I liked 1880 or the Order 1886 too. I know that game
Mm-hmm.
is like, once you realize what that game is, I think that game is actually very underrated. Uh but like I didn't play Infamous, right? I didn't play some of these other PlayStation games that people really like, and I stuck with Nintendo and Xbox, and that's been kind of it for a while, and I love my Series X. You know I still have my original Xbox downstairs. I have a lot of good memories with these consoles, and I don't know, man. I kind of don't regret that that I'm missing a lot on PlayStation, because like I don't know, if I'm not interested, I'm not interested. And if the games come, I think the first really big game on PlayStation 5 that I'm looking forward to is Final Fantasy 16, but they just announced that it's going to come to other consoles later. And I'm like, well, now I don't
Hold
want to
on,
waste it.
when?
They said it was a timed exclusive. Square came out and said it was a timed exclusive.
I did not see that
hmm
announcement at
This was
all.
a couple weeks ago, I think. A
Wow.
week ago. Hold on, I'm gonna look for it, and I'll send you the article in the chat, because I was like, well, now I don't. And also, you saw a bunch of so Kena Bridge of Spirits was rated for Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's gonna be at the Xbox showcase, by the way. Um, them announcing maybe it'll come to Game Pass, which would be even better. Uh, Hold on, Final Fantasy 16 timed exclusive. Let's see. Uh, this was okay. So this was March 1st. Um, for it is true that Final Fantasy 16 is a 6-month limited time exclusive on PS5. Uh, I want to try to find another. Okay, so this is no, that's from November. PS5 trailer reveals important Final Fantasy 16 timed exclusivity. Trying to find the more recent one. PC Gamer. I think the PC Gamer article is the one that I saw. Um, Final Fantasy 16 will release on PlayStation 5 June 22nd, 2023, a limited time PS5 exclusive. The trailers tell us that it's a 6-month exclusivity window. Uh, Not available on other platforms until December 31st, 2023. So I think at some point next year it'll be on Xbox. So now I'm like, well, do I want to waste my money and to play on a console that I don't really care for, and a controller that I absolutely hate? you know, Even like, because I'm still going to be playing Tears of the Kingdom. I really want to play the Star Wars game, that the Jedi Survivor.
Survivor.
Hopefully
Yeah, I need to get
hopefully
back
they
into that.
patched it. Pikmin's coming out, and so and I know that Final Fantasy is going to be the book club game after Tears of the Kingdom, but do I just skip that one and have Pat and Stephanie run it with two other people who really care about Final Fantasy? You know, Ugh, too many decisions, man.
Yeah, I definitely want to get Final Fantasy 16, but I just don't have a need for a PlayStation 5 just yet.
I
Not
mean,
saying that I'm
yeah,
not going to get the system. I just there's just too much goodness on Series X and on Switch at this
yeah,
time. And I know when I get a PlayStation 5, it's going to be a great library of games that I could go back and look forward to and get.
yeah, and I got one at the end of last year because I really wanted to play God of War, right? And like,
Hmm.
as much as I thought the last one was like good, not great, I would have given it like an 8, right? Like it was good, like it was good, not great. This one is just like really disappointing. Uh and like I'm kind of disappointed that I don't want to say I wasted my money on it, but like I don't care for the platform and there's nothing I really want to play on it. Now, granted, you could say the same thing about Xbox, but like I like Game Pass. I like the exclusives Microsoft offers. And yes, I realize the ones that I like are also on Xbox One. Like Halo. I really liked Halo Infinite. I really like Gears Tactics. I really like Gears 5. 5. Yes, those are all on Xbox One.
Yes.
But like, and it's the same reason why people buy PS5s, right? Like it looks better, it loads faster, etc. I mean, I bought the Xbox Series X to play Destiny at 60 frames a second if I'm going to be 100% honest with everybody out there, right? And it just so happens that a lot of the other games that I enjoy got uh better updates, but now we're starting to see the games that require next gen, right? Like Starfield, not that I'm super interested in Starfield, but I'll give it a whirl, right? Like Forza Motorsport, I think I prefer Motorsport over Horizon, and I'm really excited to check it out. Hellblade 2 is like the game that I have circled on my checklist of Xbox games that I really want to play. I'm kind of tempering my expectations for Hellblade as much as I want it to be the size of Horizon or a God of War, even. I think people have to remember that first game was a tight 6-hour experience with a lot of puzzle solving and kind of light combat. This one
Hmm.
looks like it's taking it a step further, right? And Ninja Theory does great combat,
Yes.
but like I'm still trying to temper that expectation of like this is not going to be a humongous game. This is going to be probably a smaller experience that you can get through in like a week, and maybe they'll prove me wrong and this is a big 60-hour RPG, which I would love, but that's not what this game is about. That's not what the first game was about. But still, Hellblade 2 is a game that I have circled and I cannot wait. I hope there's a physical collector's edition with a statue of Senua because I will buy it.
Yeah. I was rewatching, or part of, I should say, the Summer Game Fest today. And I plan on going back and watching last year's E3 for Microsoft, because I'm just like, man, what did they drop? And I know they show some amazing trailers with some games, but I want to go back and look at it and everything, because yes, I do want to play Starfield. I got Redfall. Thoughts
Hmm.
on that later. Um, I'm excited to play Hellblade, but I'm just like, man, Psychonauts 2 is a good one that people missed out on. Um,
Hmm. And I really
the
liked what I played of Psychonauts.
Yeah, I did too. The Ascent, you know, was a good one. I mean, even though that one was on PlayStation also, but this came out on Xbox, and then there's like some indie stuff that's on there. And I'm like, man, there really is a lot I need to go back and look at, um, and remind myself on what's coming out, because it's like even with Sony stuff. I may have to go back last year and watch some of their presentations and be like, what did y'all have planned that have not came out yet and
Hmm.
everything
Yeah,
and stuff. So, but
yeah.
but Corey,
I
I
just
think. Oh,
oh,
go ahead.
just one last thing. I think when this is all said and done, right? I mean, I know we have a couple things we're working on, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
a few kind of extra type things and stuff like that. But I think once like Summer Game Fest and all these showcases are over, we should go back and do like bonus content of us rewatching the press conferences or something. because I think that would be super fun.
Yeah.
So I'm really
Yeah.
I'm really excited to be excited for games that we don't know about yet.
Yay! And we're just gonna be puzzled with Nintendo because we really want to know what y'all doing for
Right.
this for the rest of the year.
Right.
But everybody, that's gonna be it for Nintendo Expansion Pass. That was a great discussion, a great flow. We don't normally do a lot of kind of just like various topics and stuff, but I kind of enjoyed this one. It's just a very laid back episode. But with that, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Expansion Pass. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Nintendo Expansion Pass is part of Nintendo Power Block and is a product of Boss Rush Media LLC. The show is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio, and is hosted by me, Edward Varnell. My co-host is Corey Derrick. You can find Corey at IamCorey@HD on Twitter and Instagram, as well as hosting the Boss Rush Podcast and Tower Casuals, the Destiny Podcast. Follow Expansion Pass as part of Nintendo Power Block and on all social media platforms at Power Block Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network Discord and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.